It is T-minus 10 days till my last exam of the year as a medical student, and I've not been preparing for it because I don't know why. I don't have an excuse, I'm sorry. So join me in this vlog where I show you how to be productive and kind of cram your content in. Hi, do you have any iced tea by any chance? It's actually really good. I actually have to study today and finish up all of that work that I left for 3 weeks. I just need to sit down and get on with it, otherwise I'm actually screwed. It's like coming back into a cave. Why do I sit in the dark? I actually don't know, but I'm really hungry. I don't know why I'm tired. I haven't achieved anything today. Oh no.
Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling in love with every move. You give me something to lose, baby. All I need is. Thought I'd be stuck in a static forever, telling myself it could be enough. I didn't know that I was looking for something to jump until I jumped into us. Now I'm wrapped up and you can't deny it. Hit me like a hurricane of lightning. Baby, if I'm dreaming, don't you wake me up, up, up. Need you in my lungs. Take me on.
A lot of people don't know about the best study methods, especially when it comes to university. I'm a great example of how easy it is to fall behind, even if you're putting 100% of your effort into it. It's impossible to stay on top of everything on the day. I don't know why it looks like I've got a pineapple on my head. So, number one, I use an organization tool slash app that is really easy to navigate and put my to-do lists on, to put my work on, and just organize everything really, really well so I can access information from different lectures and different sessions very easily. I use Notion, but I know that there are other apps out there that can do a very similar job, but for me and most medical students, Notion is the go-to app. Number two is making sure that you're not just listening in the lectures. I know a lot of people say you need to listen, but there's no time in the 24 hours that we have in a day to prep for the lecture, listen to the lecture, and then go home after the lecture and consolidate for a few hours. Like, no one has that time, let's be honest. Like, I skim through. I'm not sat down like actually going through the lectures. I'm literally like skimming through. So I've got some information going into my brain, like maybe 5% of it. But at least I go to the lecture, I whip open my laptop, look through the learning outcomes, and I think, okay, which part is relevant to my learning and the exams? And I essentially prioritize based off of that. So in my lectures, what I tend to do is I actually sit there, listen to the lecturer, which is what you're meant to do, not look at the PowerPoint, but I listen to the lecturer, and if he says, or he or she says something that is really interesting and that I think could be an exam question, I write it down as a toggle on Notion, which is basically a question stem. I make what the lecturer says into questions and I answer them when I go back home, which basically means that I can test myself on whether I was actually listening or not. And that has been really, really useful in terms of saving time and also knowing whether I've consolidated my knowledge and whether I actually know it. Then I convert those toggles or those Notion questions into Anki, and that helps me keep up with spaced repetition. So if I learned something 3 months ago in a lecture 3 months ago, I will still be reviewing it today. I'm not the biggest fan, so I would say if it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. You will have some students that say you really, really need it and it's the only way you can survive med school, but so far I think I'm fine without Anki, but I do see its benefits and I think it's something that you should try at least in the first few months of medical school. The third thing is use apps like Quizlet and other apps on the internet that you can just Google, where students in previous years might have uploaded their flashcards, their notes, their resources, and just skim through their notes and skim through their resources and compare it to what you see on the actual lecture slides and the resources that the university has provided you. If you can see that this person has basically taken out the key information and summarized it and put it out online for free, use that resources. Don't be afraid. Learn to trust other people as well. Use other people's resources to save time. You don't need to sit there from scratch, because I did that for a few months and I was so drained by the end of it, I wasn't able to actually get back into learning and revising for I think several weeks. Medicine is one of those courses where you do have to learn with other people. What I mean by this is you need to learn how to share your resources. If your friend has done something and you haven't, be open to sharing, because there'll be a time where you're going to need their help and they're going to need your help. And it really, really is useful to have people, whether it be one or two people, that you can rely on when you're having a slump, when you're not being productive, when you've got extenuating circumstances, because these things do happen. Medicine is not just about having a life at medical school, you've also got personal things that happen. So having that network is so important in making sure that you don't fall behind. So you will burn out from trying to do everything from scratch. There's no need. So a little update before I go to sleep now. So I did manage to actually somehow finish what needs to be finished. Not all of it, but I've done enough. So I'm going to have an early night today, sleep, and then wake up earlier tomorrow and catch up from there.